Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is April. I go by Ruby Rouge here on the YouTubes, and today I want to talk to you about one of my favorite ever masks for acne prone and oily skin, and that is this Sephora mud mask, purifying and mattifying, and then the reformulation is this Sephora zinc mask, purifying mud mask. So I had been loving this Sephora mask for several years, and I was getting low on it, so I kept going to the website to repurchase it, and it kept being out of stock, and I was like, what's going on? After several times of this, I started looking around and realized that it had been reformulated, and I knew that I would be testing this reformulation out, but I couldn't help but feel a little bit skeptical. So I'd like to sort that out with you guys and talk about what changed and why I think it changed. Also, I thought we could do a little bit of a demo and a mask with me. So grab your mask, and as this dries, we can talk a little bit more about the ins and outs of this product. So first off, let's look at these masks side by side. The mask on the left is the old mask, and the mask on the right is the newer formulation of the mask. And this was $20, this was $16. This is 50 mils and this one is 60 mils. The price ends up working out to 32 cents per mil for the new formula and 33 cents per mil for the old formula. Okay, let's open these up. So there's the old formula and here's the new formula. The only difference that you can probably really see is that this one is way less shiny. This one is a lot shinier. Something that as soon as you touch it becomes really apparent is that this one is really thick and this one's a lot thinner. You gotta kind of scoop and really grab to get anything for that one. So this is the new formula. It's much thinner. I don't know if you can tell. And then here's the old formula, and you gotta kind of really spread to get it to move. There's a difference in color. The scent is almost exactly the same on both of them. The fragrance is kind of strong. Let me see. Let me smell the fragrance is kind of strong. To me, it smells like plants. I feel like I've smelled this exact same fragrance in skincare products that contain copper before, so I'm really curious if there's some kind of correlation or if it's just coincidence. Or if that's what skincare companies just think copper should smell like. I don't know. But it does smell like plants to me. Very green. This is the old version, and I'm going to go in over here on the side of the face. So I've been testing these masks against each other for several months now, and ultimately I don't think any differences in the formulation have affected the efficacy of the product. The only real differences that I have noted is the texture of the older mask is much thicker and chunkier and dries a lot more quickly than the newer mask. I really think that Sephora reformulated this mask in order to fit it into their clean beauty line and to remove the palm oil that was originally in the formula. For anyone who wants to geek out with me later and dig deeper into the reformulation of it, I will put that at the end of the video because I think most people are probably going to be a little more interested in the actual why this mask is good for acne side of the story. So we'll dig into the actual reformulation at the end. The reasons I really love this mask: first of all, it's a clay mask. And using a clay mask on a regular basis has really seemed to help me with my acne and oil issues. Clays are known to absorb excess oil, and they can actually even kill bacteria, and certain clays do this in different ways, so it's good to have like a mixture of clays in your routine. Some clays are exfoliating. Clays can also draw impurities that have accumulated in the pore. So basically, adding a clay mask into your routine can be a way to rebalance the skin and maybe absorb some of that yuck that has accumulated in the pore. The clays in this mask are kaolin and bentonite. I normally shoot for 1 time per week. Some no more than 2. You really don't want to over dry the skin when using clay masks. Over dried skin can kind of create its own problems, which include excess oil production and acne. So you definitely don't want to create more problems than you're solving. So in order to prevent this over drying of the skin, a lot of clay masks will actually include moisturizing ingredients. I'm not sure if some of these overly moisturizing clay masks work for dry skin, but for oily skin, I would have to say that I would recommend you pass. 3 masks that come to mind that do this are the Boscia Charcoal Pudding Mask, the Origins Rose Texturizing Face Mask, and the Peter Thomas Roth More Mud Mask. I found those to be like at this level of moisturization that they were just not even effective. So this mask includes a lot of humectants instead of heavy moisturizers. The cool thing about humectants in the mask is that you're going to keep the mask moist for longer, so the clays are going to be active for longer, but also you're going to slow the loss of water from the skin, so they're not as drying without having to add in a bunch of extra heavy moisture ingredients. Another ingredient in this mask is the orange pill powder. This is vitamin C. Most of us have had experience with vitamin C, but vitamin C can provide exfoliation, which is super important for acne, releasing the dead skin cells that tend to accumulate on acneic skin. Hyperpigmentation, scarring for acne definitely is helped with vitamin C. Zinc is one of the most underrated acne products in my opinion. I think that the biggest study done so far was in 2012, I think. Don't quote me on this. But it was mainly a study about zinc's oral uses. But the history of using zinc in skincare goes way back. I mean like 500 BC, way back. I know that not everything that is old is necessarily great, but we still use zinc today to typically treat lots of modern skin irritations, including diaper rash, poison ivy, dandruff, skin rashes. And why do we do this? Because zinc is known to soothe the skin. It protects from bacteria. It accelerates tissue growth. It's an antimicrobial, anti-inflammatory. It's incredibly soothing and protective product. You know, why wouldn't it work for acne? My personal experience with zinc is that I started using it in sunscreen and I noticed that my skin was acting differently. It seemed to really calm my skin down. Where other sunscreens were like breaking me out, my zinc-based cream was like, I just noticed something different with my skin. It decreased oil production and I had an overall increase in clarity. And when I say it decreased oil production, I wasn't left feeling like super dry. I just didn't have like extra oil all the time. Another ingredient is copper. Copper is rumored to increase collagen, prevent microbial growth, and be anti-inflammatory. I have never used copper in like a standalone type product. It's always in trace amounts in a product, so I don't have that kind of personal connection experience with it, having used it in high enough concentration to really see the benefits. So I can only go on what's rumored. The ingredients in this mask in this case really support my experience of the mask. Everything that the ingredients say that they will do, I experience from this mask, including the brightening, the calming, the reduction in acne, the reduction in oil. This one has just been one of the most balanced. I tend to be able to use it all the time. I've never had any issues with it. Plus it has the extra skincare benefits that a lot of the other masks don't. Another really awesome thing is the price point on this one. I mean, it is super affordable and I really appreciate that. And now, honestly, that it's been reformulated, I can say that it has the clean label, and that's even better. The only thing that I wish that they would kind of address is the fragrance. It does have a lot of fragrance in it. Fragrance isn't an issue for me, but I know it is an issue for a lot of people. And I know that even though it's an issue for me right now, it could become one in the future. So I kind of wish that they would address that. Other masks though that I love for acne prone and oily skin are the Glam Glow Super Mud Clearing Mask, the Now Solutions Moroccan Red Clay Mask, and the Origins Clear Improvement Charcoal Mask. So let's talk quickly about this reformulation. Reformulations, in my opinion, tend to occur because the company wants to make the product cheaper. And my first reaction was like, oh no, please don't mess up this mask. But I looked into the ingredients that were removed and I actually think they were trying to do something positive with this product. 2 of the ingredients were hydrogenated palm kernel glycerides and hydrogenated palm glycerides. They seem like the same thing to me. I don't know the difference, but there's a ton of controversy surrounding the exploding use of palm oil and ingredients and the deforestation that has to occur for all of this extra palm or oil palm planting. So if you're curious about that, there's a lot of back and forth. There's a lot of, you know, I think there's a lot of context there. So if you're curious about that, check it out. So let's start talking about some of the other ingredients. I am not a chemist. I cannot 100% stand behind any of the next commentary that I'm going to make about these ingredients. There's only 3. But there's phenoxyethanol, which was definitely on the Clean Beauty Sephora no-no list. I feel like it's one that we hear a lot about that could potentially cause cancer, but like I said, I'm not getting into any of that. I'm just telling you what information I've kind of found. Magnesium aluminum silicate is not directly on the list for the Sephora Clean no-nos, but aluminum salts were, and I think my guess would be that a magnesium aluminum silicate could fall into an aluminum salt category. Not 100% sure. Like I said, don't quote me. And lastly, there was glycerol undesilinate. This one specifically isn't on the list either. The closest category that I could even find that sounded similar was the acrylates. I don't know. I tried to look that one up and I don't necessarily think they're related. So in total, 5 ingredients were removed. 2 were about palm, 2 were probably most likely about the clean label, and the other one I'm not really sure. I feel pretty confident in guessing that this was an attempt for Sephora just to kind of clean up this product and keep it in their line. Why would they do that? Because I think it's a really, really good product and it was worth the effort, and they probably knew that. The only thing I think that they should do at this point is kind of address the fragrance, which, you know, sometimes things smell so bad they have to kind of keep the fragrance in there. I don't know if that's the case. I did find it interesting that I feel like I've smelled a copper product, a product that contained copper, smell like this before, and I can't remember exactly what product that was, but maybe it's just coincidence. Alright, so I forgot to do a before. I was going to do a before and after I took off the mask, but I might compare it to the video maybe that I had going before. I don't think there's going to be much like before and after anyways. I just thought it would be fun to look. The best results for me that I've gotten from this mask are with consistent and continued use. I use it once a week, pretty much every week, and I would totally recommend it unless you're sensitive to fragrance. In that case, I would recommend the Moroccan Red Clay Mask that I mentioned a couple times. It's a single ingredient mask, so the only ingredient in it is the clay. So really, that's all I have to say about this mask. I'm going to go ahead and take this one off, and then we'll look at my skin a little up close, and yeah. I feel like it's pretty dry at this point. Oh yeah, it's cracking off, so like, touch it. You can see all my wrinkles. Ooh, sexy. So overall, I don't really think that there's anything significant to note after the mask is off. I think the most important thing with this mask is just to use it consistently and regularly. I forgot to mention earlier that masking is one of my absolute favorite ways to get skincare when you have acne prone or acne prone skin, just because you're not leaving stuff on your face for a significant amount of time. So you're leaving things on your face long enough to get an effect or an absorption, but then you're removing like anything that's heavy or oily so your pores can breathe. Yeah, so I really like masking for acne prone skin. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. If you have any questions, let me know down below, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.